What's up, everybody? Spiritual Experience. We are back. Woo! Bop. Oh, yeah. Old school. What's up, everybody? That's Flooring Daphne from the 90s. Yeah, we're back. I'm playing that stuff because it always gets me in a good mood. Feeling pretty sour today. Feeling pretty funky. Maybe this will lift me up. This is before all that emo shit. Straight up progressive hardcore. Off of their EP, Girls Will Burn. Woo! Instrumentation. Getting in the mood. We're coming back to earth. I know tomorrow you'll go and leave me. All right, you guys can find that on Reverb Nation. I doubt they're going to try and fucking find me and do whatever they do, where they, like, you know, say you have to give us $1 gazillion in order to play our music. They'll be fucking grateful that somebody is still crushing it, doing windmills and doing whatever. You know, yeah, I had an eventful weekend. My family was in town. It was a little bit... yeah, it was whatever. You know, it was whatever. Everybody's always a little bit funky, you know. And, you know, shout out to my girl and my mom. And, you know, my mom's good friend that be helping her around the house. Her name is Milagro. Not my girl. My girl's Emily. Emily's the fucking best. But, you know, they put together this whole thing for my sister who passed away a few years ago. You know, they finally put a stone on her grave. And it was funny, not funny, but not surprising either. You know, bro, sometimes, like, resentments run deep, man. And they fucking run. And I know, because I'm burning a little bit with one right now, and I'll get into it in a little while. But, yeah, like when my sister died, and we went to... I don't know the name of the cemetery. Sorry. I don't go there and visit her. Because, yeah. I don't know. I just talk to her whenever I want to, man. I do. You know, but either way, so, yeah, we'll touch on that in a minute. But, what's the truth, right? So we go there to bury my sister. My grandfather, my dad's dad, has been dead for... my God, like 20 years. And he didn't have no stone. I'm like, bro, this guy's been dead for 20 years. You know, and it was such a low priority that nobody ever did it. I didn't even know that it wasn't done. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's going to go to the gravestone and, you know, say you have to give us $1 gazillion in order to play our music. They'll be fucking grateful that somebody is still, you know, crushing it. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's going to go to the gravestone and, you know, say you have to give us $1 gazillion in order to play our music. They'll be fucking grateful that somebody is still, you know, crushing it. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's going to go to the gravestone put flowers and do whatever. And if that's your thing, that's okay, and that's fine. But like, that's not really my thing. But that being said, yeah, there was no gravestone on my dad's dad, and my dad and his dad had any kind of relationship that, like, I guess dads and sons have. I always tell you, my dad's not an easy guy to get along with. Now he's like going way overboard all the way on the other side of the spectrum. Talking about, and like in front of me, he'll tell people like, oh, my son's perfect. He's perfect. He's like, bro, nobody's perfect. You can just say, hey, look, my son turned out okay. And I can tolerate him and hang out with him for a little bit at a time. And that's cool. Like, that's fine. But like, it's almost like pretentious to be like, my son's perfect. He's fucking perfect. Like, and he really does it in front of people, in front of my other family members, because he wants them to believe, I don't know what he wants them to believe. That he wants them to believe that he believes that, and nobody's perfect. And bro, to not have a stone on your own dad's gravesite, meanwhile, this motherfucker left you like, whatever, a boatload of money. I don't know, $500,000 or something, or whatever it was, and yeah, and you don't have no stone on his site. I know he definitely hasn't gone there to check him out, and it was a weird thing. I think I remember telling you guys also that, like, bro, when my sister was dying, I was in the middle of doing some work with my son, and my dad like called me out of nowhere, like, and this was like, she was like in her very last days, like maybe 1 or 2 days left, whatever. He's like, just so you know, you're like you and Devin, my son, are the beneficiaries on her like checking account, whatever her accounts were. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even thinking about that. Like, my fucking sister's dying, bro. My fucking sister is dying. I don't care about that. I don't. And yeah, so that's how my dad was, man. And my daddy wasn't that well, he still is. Like, even when my grandfather died, like, like all this other stuff is like unfolds where, like, okay, my dad's second mom, my grandma Ray, she helped them out with this with the flower shop they had on Long Island or whatever. And so my dad has a sister, right? And whatever. When they passed away, when my grandfather passed away, you would think my dad would have been like, okay, you're going to get some of this money. And he didn't give her any, which is weird. What's even weirder is that my grandfather didn't leave her any. I don't even know what that's all about. But like, yeah, like my dad like held some fucking kind of grudge where my Uncle Marty borrowed a few bucks from my grandfather. My grandfather was like, hey, look, you're my son-in-law. You're taking care of my kid. I'll let it go, My dad doesn't let anything go. That's his thing, He doesn't let anything go. So that was that. But lo and behold, the money he got from my grandfather, he fucking blew it out the water. I don't know. I always believe that, like, when you're not moving right, the water is not the current. You can't go with the current if you're not moving right, if that makes any sense. So, like, yeah, like the bread that he got, it's gone. I think somebody stole it from him. He got involved in some investment opportunities that he thought was going to be home runs. And I give it to him. He always tried to swing for the fences, but yeah, he got in and it was a Ponzi scheme, and then that was it. So he didn't the Lord took it from him too. Maybe it would have been better, or who knows how it would have turned out if he would have did the right thing and taking care of my Aunt Carol, who's the fucking best. And yeah, man, that's the story that I know. Who knows whatever other part of that story it is. So either way, so we're there, and then my mom is like, it's like, oh, she sends me like this thing that I'm supposed to read. So I'm thinking I'm just supposed to read this one thing, and then she has me, welcome everybody and that stuff, and then a few people said a few things, which is nice. My cousin Tim and my cousin Doricel, they said nice things. Everybody else kept their trap shut. It was really freaking hot out, and that was that. And I gave like a little off the cuff thingy, And my cousin's husband Tony, who I love dearly, guy's like one of the smartest people I'd ever come across, and I admire him in many of those ways. And he's big on, capital G-O-D, like me. If you can't tell by now, bro, God is everything in my life. That's where I get all my relief. That and cigars and energy drinks and my hot ass woman, that I'm entirely and incredibly grateful for. She is, man. She's my, she's my assignment, man. Keep that one happy, and it's good. I'm grateful to have it. Like, salute, yes, sir, Nobody knows me or loves me better than her. At all. So what was going on, right? So I had cousins that came in from Florida, whatever. And I got a little bit like cheeky because, the day's coming up. My cousins, they don't come to New York anymore. I get on a plane, I go down there a couple of times a year when I can. I try to show up for them. I go to North Carolina more than anything else. But I've been going to Florida the last few years. My family, they get together all the time. Like I think it's Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, whatever the ones at the end of the summer. They go to this hotel. Everybody, we hang out. They party on the beach, whatever. I can't do it. Number one, the rooms in the hotel are dirty and fucking gross. They're like, Florida, yeah. They're like Florida beach rooms, but not like super nice. My cousin Walter makes sure that he gets the penthouse, which is like a nice apartment. It's fucking nice. Last time I was there, years ago, we got this other cousin that come. We had some of my cousins that come from Puerto Rico. Everybody's a little bit older than me. Angelo, bro, this guy drinks like fucking, forget it. He just, yeah. But he runs a couple of miles every day on the beach, and he was like in the Navy or whatever. So, he's a handsome guy. He's a pain in the ass. He talks a lot. He's an alcoholic. So according to him, if he can get up and run 2 miles a day on the beach, then he could drink the rest of the day, which is bizarro world, but that's what it is. Anyway, bro, this guy, he got so drunk. He was in my and I laughed a little bit. He's in my cousin Walter's room. Walter hits me up like, yo, bro, I need you to come upstairs, Because Walter, the only people who are not getting banged out, whacked out, crazy is me, my cousin Walter, my cousin Tito. Tito has like 2 drinks, and bro, he's the best. So if he has 2, it's a lot, right? So anyway, we get up there, and bro, this motherfucker, Angelo, like shit all over himself and all over the room somehow. Bro, like alcoholics, like when they shit on themselves and they just decide like, fuck it, man, I'm going to make some art, some doo-doo art or whatever they do. Dude, there was like shit all over the sheets. There was shit like on the fucking carpet. And they called me up there. He's like, bro, I know you're a carpet cleaner. What am I supposed to do here? So me and him got to fix this fucking guy up. And I'm like, dude, we should just like fucking put a life vest on him and throw him in the fucking swimming pool and just let him float there. He's a fucking hazard to the fun. Anyway, yeah. So that was like so that was the last time I was at that beach party in Florida, because like honestly, I don't like to sit on the beach. It costs me, not that I don't like to sit on, I enjoy the beach, but listen, if there's 25 people there and 23 of them, no, I shouldn't say that. 20 of them are just drunk, obliterated, ridiculous, upper to middle-aged people, like people who got more days behind them than in front of them. Shout out to Jimmy Mack for that one. Yeah, I don't want to spend fucking $2,500 flying my family down there to just hang around people getting drunk. And then, you know, like, I guess that was cool 20 years ago. I don't know. And my sister used to go down there every year because, bro, does she like to fucking, yeah, she liked to drink. That's why, you know, that's why she's not here. But, yeah, so she would come back and tell me all the fucking bochinche, which is Spanish for fucking the gossip. Who's doing what, who did what, blah, blah, blah. Who beat up their fucking girlfriend, you know, whatever. Who almost got slapped up, who did get slapped up, who's not doing shit with themselves. And she would give me the whole fucking rundown, right? And then some of my cousins that were down there would be calling me like, yo, bro, your sister was way out of fucking pocket. And she was beep, bop, 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 bop. Right? Whatever she was doing. And I'm like, dude, why do I want to? It's like a poor investment of both my money and my time to be doing that. So, like, I took my girl and my kids, my two daughters, like, I think the first year we were dating. That was like 8-9 years ago. And I have not gone back since. Because, yeah, because it's fucking, dude, I would rather, I don't know, I'd rather lift weights and go to the deprivation tank I'd rather wash rugs than just with my time. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I do love them. But I'm not going to spend 3 days in drama, you know? And I felt bad, too, because, like, even when we sent out these invitations, like, my mom and my girl sent it out. So one of my cousins that's in Florida now, she, you know, we forgot her. She hasn't been around in, like, 20 years. You know, she's been a little bit on the lam or whatever you want to call it. You know, I mean, I love her. I couldn't go to her wedding because I was flying back and forth all the time. I went down there twice, once to see my bozo cousin Eric. Before he went for surgery, and then afterwards because my cousin Louis' birthday. So I couldn't do it. I had too many things going on, and yeah, and you know, but whatever. I sent her an envelope for her wedding. That's what I could do, you know. Anyway, so she wasn't invited, and then like in our group text. My other cousin was like, oh, my God, you forgot about Yesenia, this, that, and the third or whatever. So I had to call her. And I called her, and I was like, listen, I'm sorry. You was overlooked. And it wasn't because we don't love you. It wasn't any of that stuff. But, like, my girl literally doesn't know you. And my mom made the list of these people for these events. And she was very forgiving and very cool about it. She was. I give her a lot of credit for that. Yeah, because everybody feels left out, man. Who likes to feel? I don't like to feel that. I feel like that all the time. I'll get into that. Like now, like I was, bro. I, like during the whole week, I was like, bro, you guys are all coming up from Florida. Saturday we'll go to Coney Island. I'll take you guys around. Blah blah blah. You know, and yeah. And everyone's like, yo, it sounds like great. You know, they're all down to do it. And they're all ready. And like, and which is cool because like they're a little bit old. They're older than me. But like, yo, they don't. And I told them, I said, you guys come to New York and you hang out in the woods in my fucking mom's house or my cousin Myra's house. Who the hell comes to New York from Florida once every few years to sit in the woods around a swimming pool? Like, yo, you know, let's ride the Cyclone. Let's go get some fucking food. Let's go down to Brooklyn Bridge Park. Let me show you the deal. Right? And they were all happy. And then that was like for Saturday, right? So Friday, my cousin Lisette comes in with my little cousin Clarissa. Boom, I meet them. We go down to Chinatown to get some food because she came in a little bit later. Everybody else was all the way upstate. You know, my cousin Eric was bullshitting like, yeah, I would go get her if nobody's going to go get her. I'm like, yeah, we're fucking right. You know, I mean, he would, but just to show everybody that he fucking would, you know, that he's that kind of guy. You know, he's got to be a big shot. So, yeah, and that's okay. So anyway, yeah, so we go to Chinatown, boom. Then they go back upstate, and then Saturday it's like we're planning on like maybe 2 or 3 o'clock or something to meet in Coney. Saturday like 11:30. My cousin Lisette calls me. She's like, "Oh, change of plans. We're just gonna chill up here, and you know it's gonna be 102 degrees, which it wasn't. It was fucking 90 something degrees. You know, and then they start crying about the heat. Yeah, but you know they were like, "Oh, what was I saying? Oh, we don't want to go. You know, there's no shade over there." In Coney Island, and it's going to be 102 and this and that, and why don't you just come up here? And I'm like, bro, like, I literally, maybe nobody knows what my life is, and that's okay, and that's why I don't super blame them. But bro, what it takes for me to free up time is, you guys know, because you guys are with me all the time, but what it takes for me to free up time is like insane. You know, the amount of responsibilities and the amount of things that I have going on. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so I felt like, I was like, bro, I was like, what do you mean? And in my mind, I'm like, you are from Florida, you are in New York, and you're telling me it's too hot. You know? After they were talking shit like half the week, like, yeah, we're going to come and this and that. And then like last minute to be like, nah, but we'll go to City Island at 6 o'clock to go eat. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fucking City Island to go eat. Number one, I don't like the food there. And I've been there enough times to different restaurants. Like, it's set, you know, whatever. It ain't it. It ain't Sheepshead Bay. You know what I'm saying? There's better seafood other places in the city than fucking City Island. And, you know, it's like way out of the way. Now, I'm only saying it's way out of the way because, like, okay, from where they were staying, coming to spending the day in Brooklyn was a little bit out of the way for them too. But I've gotten on planes to go out of the way. Now this is like my alcoholism. I'm like fucking keeping score as soon as I get like oversensitive. I'm like, bro, I've gotten on planes a bunch of times for either yous or some of your kids to go do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And you guys said you were coming, and I literally disrupted myself, or I made myself available. I shouldn't say disrupted myself. I made myself available, and yeah, and then you guys fronted like it was okay. Like, yeah, don't worry about him. You know, we're on vacation. He must have nothing going on. That's why, whatever. You know, so I was like, all right, that's it. I said, I ain't going to City Island. Yeah, I'm good on that. You guys could go do that, and then I'll see you Sunday. And that was cool. So then I went, we saw each other Sunday. We went to the, we went to the cemetery, did all that stuff. And it's so bizarre because I have these, you know, I have like these other, I wouldn't say, I'm going to say resentment, but it's not really resentment. Like, bro, I guess I get my feelings hurt is what I'm saying. In a way that, like, you know, one of the reasons why I don't go to the cemetery is because my mom and my dad, they go all the time. And the cemetery is in Queens. And I live in Brooklyn. And they live up in Rockland, all the way in the woods. So it takes them an hour and change to get to the cemetery, more, maybe an hour and a half. It will take me 25 minutes, 30 minutes. But what they will do is they will go and then don't say that they're going. And then call me on the way leaving. Like, yeah, we just crossed back over the bridge. We're going upstate. We went to go see Dara today, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, why don't you just not tell me? If you don't want me to go with you, then don't tell me after you fucking went. You know, like I'm the only kid left. You guys like make me feel so fucking left out about it. And this is not something that I'm like blasting them on my show or whatever. I have straight up told them this stuff to their face. I'm like, dude, it's like very, I don't even know the word, how it makes me feel. But, you know, it ain't right. It ain't right. So just when you go, just let me know and I will make myself available. For things that I feel that are important, I will make myself available. You know, even if that means disregarding other things or rescheduling stuff. I have a staff. I call, I say, listen, this day I need to do whatever. I need this day free. That means whatever's on that day, guess what? I'm sorry, they're getting fucking moved. And that's okay. For things that's my priority, is my life. I'm free. You know, I live free. And so they do that kind of shit all the time. Or they'll be in the city, you know, and they won't call me. They won't call me and be like, yo, we're in the city. You know, we're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. We're going to go eat, whatever. Like, I've been in Brooklyn 18 years. They've been to my apartment. I've had 1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4th apartment in 18 years. Pretty good. I think they've been, I would say definitely less than 10 times, but less than 5 times. I'm being generous. I'm going to say 5, maybe between 5 and 10. So in 18 years, between 5 and 10 times at most, they have been to where I live, where I pay rent, where I do my thing. You know, in my family's home, you know, less than 10 times. Meanwhile, they'll be right over the bridge in Manhattan, 20 minutes from me and not say a fucking word. But they'll be like, why don't you come to our house? And I go all the time. And it's an hour and a half each way to get up to the woods and back. And that's in good traffic. Bad traffic, 2 hours each way. So I'll be driving for 4 hours to go and check them. And then when I get up there, I'm the fucking one man in the grill for everybody. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's like crazy to me. And I tell them, and guess what? They don't change. They don't change. I think maybe 2 times. Was it 2 times? 2 or 3 times. Oh. 2 or 3 times in the last year we've all gone out to dinner. And I'm just starting to think maybe it's fucking me. Maybe it's me, you know? I don't know what kind of energy I'm bringing. I don't know what kind of things I've done that I have not been forgiven for. Or maybe it's, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's like they don't want to see me. And then when I talk to my mom on the phone, my mom will call me. If I don't speak to my mother at least every other day, she'll call me and be like, I haven't heard from you for days. Like, what's going on? How are you? Blah, 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 blah. You know? And I'm like, okay. So in my mind, I think I have this relationship with them. But then they do shit like that. And then I don't have it. And I'm like, oh, so I guess I don't fucking have this relationship with people. You know? And it bothers me. Maybe it bothers me because I make it like I'm one-sided. You know? I don't know what it is. I'm actually like working through it now. So even now, my cousin Eric is still here, right? And this guy, like my mom hits me up, like leaves me a message today. Today's Tuesday. It's like, oh, Eric's leaving Saturday. Well, some of my other cousins, they left already. And Eric's leaving Saturday. Can you come up Friday in the afternoon? We'll hang out at the pool. We'll cook. We'll do this and that and whatever. And the way my life is, It doesn't exist. 3 days notice, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No way. End of the month, super busy time. I'm always on busy time. I'm always, yeah. I'm always. So, no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't make it. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I mean, not busy, but like, I have a lot of stuff on my plate. While I'm on talking with you guys, the mortgage guy called. Hopefully, he has a fucking appraisal, so we can close on this friggin' house. Yeah, I have that going on. I have a business. I'm short-staffed. I have kids. I have AA. I have all of you. I have this show. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have all of the volunteer stuff that we do for these refugees. You kidding me? Plate is full, bro. Plate is full, and it's all in service to the Lord and to this community. So, yeah, I can't do it. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to Katz's Deli with Eric. I'm going to take Eric and Yolanda. I just finished playing tennis. I was like, all right, cool. I said, are you going to go home? Now I'm starting to, I've said, I could make something happen because Katz's Deli is 15 minutes from my shop over a bridge, literally 15 minutes, right? So I can do that. But I need to shuffle some things around. So I'm like, okay, just let me know when you're on the way down because it takes them over an hour to get there from upstate. I said, are you going home to shower? I'm trying to figure that out. She's like, no, no, I'm not. I'm going to see what's up with them in the house, and then we're going to come. I'll call you when we're on the way down, when we're near the bridge, whatever. Some time goes by. I don't know what's going on. I'm still doing my thing. And then, what's it called? Then they text me like, oh, we're parking. I'm like, parking now? Like right now? Like, yeah, we're parking at Katz. We're just about to sit down. I'm like, dog, you were supposed to call me when you were on the way to give me some notice. I can be there in an hour. And they're like, yeah, but we'll be done by then. I'm like, oh, okay. Foiled again. So I think it's really just me that I get my hopes up with these kinds of things. Maybe I yearn for I don't know, for that old school family way. Maybe I'm also ignoring people who deserve more attention. Yeah, maybe there's that. And maybe I'm treating somebody else like that in my family. I don't know, or my friends or whatever. So this is so I'm on fire when it comes to that, to all this stuff. It's literally just unfolding now. Meanwhile, because I told my mom, yo, my shop or where I work is right over the bridge in Brooklyn, right outside the Navy Yard. It's 15 minutes from Katz, but I'm running around. So let me know, So she knows how close I am. Bro, I've been in this place years, and this is like, if and when my son had a business and had a thing, I would fucking go check it and be proud. They've never, not once, I mean, I have to give them this credit. If I was ever in a pickle and I needed to borrow money, they would just give it to me. But that ain't it. No amount of money that they could ever give me or that this guy pays for my car, whatever, none of it could measure up to the fucking, to like the punch in the stomach that I get all the time from them. I remember, maybe I think I told this story before. Bro, I remember when my son made it out of high school and I bought that El Camino. And it was a big fucking stink. And it was nice. And my mom had to take me, whatever, courthouse or something. I don't know what it was for. Whatever. Yeah, so I got this car. I didn't have all the money. I had $5,000 and the car was $10,000, so I financed $5,000. And I didn't have any bread. I was just building my business a little bit at a time. I was making some money, but I wasn't making money yet, you know. But I said, you know what? Like, I got sober. I've been there as best I could for my son. I've listened to his needs, and I've been accommodating as best I could. I've loved him in ways that, you know, I wish were given to me. Or maybe I spoiled them, I don't know. I can't always be the fucking bad guy, you know. So I'm going to get this car for myself. I was going to say like for once, for myself. But, you know, for those 10 years, I didn't do anything for myself. And I did everything for him. And he deserved it. And that was my responsibility. So I get the car. Oh, I think my mom had to co-sign the loan, and she was happy to do it. That's what it was. We had to go to the courthouse or something to get something notarized. And I remember she was like, oh, the last time we was here, you was on jail. That was funny. I remember that. Just how far I had come, you know. And, yeah. Yeah, how far I'd come. So I get the, I get the car. I get it together. I drive it upstate to go to my cousin Myra's house. And they love it. And my dad's over there by the pool. And I'm like, bro, come check out my car. And my son made it into fucking college. Like, my sister went to Duke, and my dad was like, woo, woo, Duke. Like, you know, and he would run around with all his Duke shit. He was wearing it this weekend, too. You know, meanwhile, when my sister was alive, he would talk shit to her to no end. Said, what fucking, you went to Duke, I paid $150,000, all I got was this sweater. Like, he's such a prick to her, you know. That's another thing. But he was a prick to her. She wasn't easy to get along with either. She wasn't the nicest person. But he was nasty to his own fucking kid in that way. So, yeah, in a not helpful way. Yeah, so I go and I'm like, bro. And my son made it into School of Visual Arts, man. That was like one of the best schools in the country for photography. Came out of high school, no felonies, no kids, no problems, straight to college, internships, all the bomb shit, you know, from a single parent home. And I was happy that I felt like I had made it. I had some degree of success. And it wasn't monetary, but it was, you know, it was that. And I felt good about myself. And I was like, bro, come check out my car. This motherfucker looked right at me. He's like, nah, I know what they look like. I've seen them before. And he just sat there like a fucking asshole. And like just like literally broke my heart. I feel like such a pussy even saying that. But that's what he did, you know? This is the same guy running around in front of all my cousins now like, oh, my son's perfect. My son's perfect. I'm like, yeah, okay. Nice. It's like there's so many, it's, you know what it is? It doesn't mean that everybody has to be straight up and down, you know, because like, you know, there's so many people who are full of shit. They're just full of shit. And we all know who they are. We know you're full of shit. And we know you're a fucking ego megalomaniac. And, you know, and the Lord knows. The Lord knows how you live and how you move, which is why some of the things happen and you lose things or whatever, you know. That's why. It's not karma, if that's the word. Maybe it is. I don't know. I just use it as like, hey, man, you're putting bad fucking juju out into the river. You can't get mad when the stupid Simpsons fish with 3 eyes shows up, you know. Yeah, you can't. So Yeah, so there's that. So I would rather just people just be quiet than be full of shit. Because to me, listening to somebody who's full of shit is so, yeah, it's mind numbing. I'm like, bro, don't say that. You know, don't say that. Like, so it's almost like I feel like that too, where it's just like, oh, everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna come check you and we're gonna do this and that, and then last minute Lucy's, nah, we ain't doing that. All right, so I'd rather you just say that, look, we're tired, we decided we don't want to do it, or what. I don't fucking know. Don't gas me up for a whole fucking week and then blame it on the weather, right? Blame it. It's 102, bro. Are you kidding me? It wasn't 102. I have a phone. I checked the phone. It says high 92. And we're going to be by the water. Coney Island, there's fucking breeze everywhere over there. It's not just the fucking middle of nowhere. You know? We're near my house. We could chill in my crib. We could do whatever. You know? But, yeah. That's what it was. And it was funny because then, like, they were like, oh, let's go to City Island. And I was like, yo, I'm good. And then, you know, my cousin's husband, Joey, he's like, oh, should I make the reservations for indoor or outdoor? Meanwhile, if you're going to City Island, really, you should be sitting outside, you know, the boats and all the shit and whatever. And then so one of my cousin Betsy, she's like, yo, we should be sitting outside. I said, that's the point of going to City Island. And not going to fucking Manhattan and sitting in the fucking, at the, you know, whatever. I don't even know what's open anymore. I don't eat seafood in the city. I know back in the day, bro, Blue Water Grill, you can't beat that shit. I'll tell you that right now. And I bet you this fucking bozo that made that reservation over there, he never been to the Blue Water Grill. His dumbass used to like to hang out at places like Gonzales and Gonzales. You know, but whatever. I love him too. But so, like, you know, in a sense, like, nobody should be offended. I mean, you can be if you want, but I'm just literally saying what happened. If these things like offend, almost like when I do it to my kids, if I describe what went down and you're offended by that, then you're offended by your own actions, not by me. I'm just giving a description. I'm not giving intent. I'm not giving anything else. I'm saying this when people do this kind of shit, this is how I feel about it. You know? This is how I feel about it. So yeah, my cousin Betsy's like, yo, bro, shouldn't we be eating outside? It's City Island. It's 6 o'clock. It's gonna be nice. The sun's gonna be setting, you know, and all that stuff. And they were like, no. And she's like, all right, I guess. I don't know, man. Who knows what everybody else is going through and why they behave the way they do, you know. But now, but here's the thing. If we communicate and share things with each other about what we're going through, maybe I don't take anything so personally, and maybe nobody else does. Maybe it's like, oh, this one's not feeling good because of this and this and this and blah, blah, blah. And then this is why we can't do that. Say, okay. You know, similar to like the thing with the mortgage with the fucking, you know, if you tell me, you know, they send me emails that are all crazy. And then I go nuts on them. I say, listen, you have to tell me, you know, it's if something is screwed up and you tell me beforehand, it's a reason. If you tell me afterwards, it's an excuse. So I'm not down for the excuses. I'm just down for the cause. So anyway, like and subscribe. Spiritual Experience. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or whatever. We're everywhere. The only place that we're not really anymore is on Facebook, because Zuckerberg is like, I'm not going to let you play all your content, and I can't run ads on your show to make fucking money. Which is bizarre, because I thought it was the nicest thing that they were doing by allowing us to do that, but now they took that off. And I hope you guys enjoyed my brother Tone Tank for borough president. that episode, it was a long time coming, and I love him dearly. And I love his wife and his little son, baby Enzo, And it's nice because he even says, like, yo, maybe he goes through the same shit too. Because his wife is like, he tells me that his wife, like, really fucking digs me as his friend. Because I fucking show up and I only do, and it's bizarre because he is my brother and he will never drown as long as I'm alive. I'll drown with him before I let him drown on his own. And he's been 1,000% with me the same way. And that's why that is. And he's like, yeah, my wife like thinks like you're one of my only, one of the core solid people in my life. And I'm like, that's cool because my Emily, who will hopefully be my wife, she was walking through my mother's backyard with two of my cousins over there playing fucking J-Lo with the fucking headphones. What do they call? Wedding planner or whatever. They were doing all of that. Yeah. In the moment. But anyway, my Emily, she don't fucking... She don't really care for a lot of people either. Not that she don't care for them, but like... I have a good woman because she tells me, all right, this guy or this person... Yeah, they're like, whatever. But this one's a good one. She watches my ass for me. And even when I was texting her now, how I was mad because my mom fucking did it again. Gets my hopes up that, maybe I'll see her today. And then just pulls the rug out like, nah, whatever for you. And she was like, miscommunication. I was like, fuck you. She does it all the time. And I've told them about it, so they're choosing to be like that. And then I'm getting, I'm thinking about them getting older, and I don't want to take care of them. But, hey, man, they're going to give me a bag of money, I guess. I don't know. I could just be like that, mate. Take the fucking bag, be like my dad. Take the bag of money, go fuck yourself. You don't even get a fucking stone. Because he's like, he's going crazy over there. He's talking about, I'm going to dig up this person to throw. Cause my family has a big plot. Not a big plot, whatever, 10, 12 spaces. Who knows how many spaces they got. But there's space for both my parents and my sisters there. I don't want to fucking be there. I keep telling them, and it's like, dude, do not throw anybody else out of there. Like my dad's cousins or my dad's aunt's husband who don't have the same last name as me. It's like, yeah, they're not one of us, so fuck them. I'll exhume them or whatever it's called. And they get thrown in the fucking back of the dump truck, driven out to New Jersey and, put in a fucking river or whatever. Who knows what they do with them. Stick them in a pyrolysis machine to make some fucking light bulbs or something. But I was like, dude, no, man. I said, I'm going to be cremated. All my kids know. And I'm going to be in one of those tree pods where I'll grow as a tree in my son's yard. And my daughter's, whatever. My other children who are not boys, yards. They can separate me into 3 trees, stick me in the ground. And then the kids, whatever, even the neighborhood kids, you hang a swing from one of my arms and they can swing. And that'd be nice. And you can come out and talk to me. Don't let the dogs fucking pee on me. Don't let the termites get to me. But that's what I would like to do. So, anyway, I love you all. Yeah. Again, like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever. That's cool. We got some more guests in the pipeline. We're going to get that shit pumping back up. I'm going to be on the offensive. And, all right. I love you all. Peace. Okay, everybody. We'd like to thank you for joining us on The Spiritual Experience. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on all podcast platforms. Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora, everywhere. And please find us on Facebook, where you can become part of our family. We'll see you around.